Today, we're getting into what I believe is the best way to get into the One Piece TCG. To answer that question simply and quickly, the starter decks are simply the best way I believe to get into the One Piece TCG. Most of the starter decks that are out at the moment are for competitive / decks that are still usable in tournaments, and a lot of them you rarely have to do any changes to the actual deck itself. Very minimum on most of the decks to make it the meta deck that how it comes. We're gonna hop in, see what the decks come with, and for $15 a starter deck, I'll show you why it has so much value. Today I'm showcasing the purple black Monkey D. Luffy starter deck. One thing I do like about Bandai is they do include a booster pack in the boxes with the starter deck, but in the deck you get a full 50 card deck that is ready to play and 10 Dawn. So we're gonna go over the cards you get just looking out. There's the leader, a Nico Robin SR from the starter deck. You get 2 of those. One thing with the starter decks, they like to introduce cards that are very good. This Beer Luffy is actually a very essential card to Purple Black and a couple other decks at the moment now too. You get 2 of those, and then the rest are 4 of usually commons. And some of these will be used in the actual deck. Not a ton of them, but like the Frenoskes, the Usopps, a lot of those actually do get used, and then there's their own variation. And one thing kind of bad about it, but still with the price point, most of the time with these decks, the SRs usually only come with 2. So getting a second one is a good idea. But for $30, you're getting 2 packs and 2 of everything that you will need to really start to play the deck and learn it. Why I think this is the easiest way to get into One Piece, because 1, it's the most cost efficient to get started on a lot of different colors, a lot of different leaders and stuff like that. You can definitely take a starter deck to a locals and do pretty well, but don't expect to like win a tournament straight off the bat without any upgrades. But it is a definite good starting point for most of the leaders that have a starter deck. And in conclusion, that's why I think the starter decks are the best way to get into the One Piece TCG. They're the most budget friendly and low ceiling to enter the game while still being able to play a deck that many people enjoy, that most of them are meta prevalent and something that you can definitely start your collection or your decks on. Just for $15 to $30, you can have almost a fully ready deck, and in some cases like Buggy, his starter deck almost has 90% of the entire meta deck. So if you're looking to get into the One Piece TCG, I recommend stopping by your local game store or something and looking at the starter decks they have available. Most of them I do recommend getting 2, but like I said, for $30, that is not a lot of investment to potentially find a game that you really enjoy. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.